Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I've always lived by and accepted the quote, no man is an island. This simple fact can be explained by it doesn't matter how rich you are, it doesn't matter how fast you are, you always need help. For example, Elon Musk, even though he is the richest man on the planet, he still needs help from people who make toothpaste because he doesn't know how to make toothpaste himself. And he can't go to work without brushing his teeth. Well, hopefully. So by that convoluted logic, Elon Musk needs help from people who make toothpaste. And we're all connected whether we like it or not. So even though I know this for a fact and I live by it, I've always had an independent streak to me in the sense that I like figuring things out by myself. Some might even call it isolating myself, which is a very bad habit. And with the pandemic, I would say I have an excuse to isolate myself. If I don't want to talk to people, it's because, the pandemic is going on. So it's definitely been exacerbated. And I don't think I really noticed what I was missing until a recent effort to actually document my feelings and how my day went. I started this effort because of the speech, but it actually was at an opportune time because I was visiting my family. I went to Texas to visit my mom and my brother's family around the week before Valentine's Day. So it was just the perfect time to start tracking my mood. It was a 1 to 5 range. One is the saddest, five is the happiest. It was perfect. I didn't have anything else to do. And as you can all imagine, it was all fives, maybe. It was fives and a four on the last day because I didn't want to leave. But yes, and we didn't even do anything special because this trip was actually originally supposed to be a Christmas trip. I was supposed to go to Christmas for a week. But what happened was someone around me got COVID. And while I didn't test positive, I didn't want to. I was going for a week. So there's like a small chance that I would test positive in the middle of the week. And my mom's pretty old. And I was like, okay, let's just move it. And yeah, but the consequences of that is that it wasn't a holiday for everyone. People had to go to school, people had to go to work. So I didn't really get to, you know, do a vacation. I was just an extra helping hand around the house. I would help pick up the kids. I would help cook dinner, pick up the kids from school. I would help cook dinner. We would go to Starbucks. And for some reason, I've been collecting this Starbucks coffee. This one says San Antonio backwards, and this one says Texas. Oh, wait, you can't see that. You have to take my word for it, but it says Texas. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you about a Starbucks cup. So I've been collecting these. So it was casual, but again, it was all fives. And one of the things that I noticed was how mindful I was. And this might not be a really big thing for other people, but for me personally, I have a problem with just rushing to things, and I find myself savoring savoring the conversation rather than getting to the end of rushing to get to the end of the conversation. And for me personally, it's a really big thing. It was like, oh wow, there's this state of being. It's like for some reason life was clearer, if that makes sense, because I was more in the present. So it was very good. And when I came back, I could feel the effects just from like the first few days. Well, one, because I just got back after a week. I had a lot to talk with my coworkers. But the second one was the Valentine's Day. I came back to Valentine's Day. So when I was having dinner with my girlfriend, I mean, I like my girlfriend. I like talking to her, but again, it just felt like I savored the conversation more, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it was one of the best dinners I had with her. It was just like, oh wow, it was like I was talking in HD, and I think I kind of lost that during the pandemic. I've always been rushing to things, and I could actually feel myself getting back into the habit of just kind of letting my relationship slip because my mom texted me last week. She was angry because I haven't called her. Cause I let her know I landed safely, but I didn't call her. So what I did was I downloaded this app called Fabrique with a Q, and the purpose of the app is to set intentions to see, okay, you have to talk with this person now. In the sense that, again, I don't want to lose. I know we're in a pandemic; it's really hard to connect with people, but I don't want to lose that touch again. I don't want to. I want to feel that state of clear, like mindfulness again, and I want to make sure I connect with people that matter to me. And I don't know if it's speak of the devil or not, but or coincidence. But a friend of mine that I haven't talked to in months actually just texted me. So yeah, I think basically I hope you get from this you get from this talk that don't let your relationships slip by the wayside. They really do help you, and yeah, they're really important. Thank you very much, guys.
So Fawaz, first, I really liked your title. No man is an island. Yes, no person is an island. Very good. Which is a quote from an author, from a poet. And that really sets off an imagery of someone being alone. And then you followed that with using the word isolated. Now you were isolated in your work or in your life because you're very focused. But that also gives a picture of being alone on an island. So I liked how you started off with talking about Elon. Even Elon Musk needs someone to make his toothpaste. So that made it very relatable. And then talking about you and your journey to realizing that isolation is good to focus on to accomplish a task, but for our own well-being, our own mental health, we need community. And you really took us on this really lovely uh, journey to Texas with you. And you described very mundane things like going to Starbucks, picking up the kids, and it really reminds us to be present and mindful in our mundane lives because that can really center us and give us a lot of joy because honestly, most of our lives are just filled with mundane tasks. So your speech was very, like I said earlier, it's very inspirational for us in this time of difficulty, in this time where we're all probably mentally drained and tired, to be present, to be mindful. And so I really think you've grown a lot in your storytelling because it wasn't just the story, but it was also a call to action. It was a way to you really evoked feeling, I feel like, in this speech, which is an improvement from previous speeches, which may have been more, I'm telling you what happened, here's a timeline, but this was a story feeding into an emotion, feeding into a call of action. So that's been a very good progression in your speech giving, and that was great. I also liked how you had props to show us, which were the cups from Starbucks. So there was a lot of levity in the speech as well, and I think that's always good to break up a more serious speech with some levity. Uh, for one thing that I would say for improvement is to make sure that all the elements kind of work with each other. So you were talking about being mindful and being present and being connected, but more examples of how you kind of do that post. So the girlfriend discussion was really good, but there was a lot of bulk in the beginning. So maybe some more tips of how we can connect or how you've been connected now, how you can still remain at a 5 now would be good to hear so that we all can be inspired that we can have 5s on vacation, but we can all have 5s in our mundane lives as well. But other than that, I liked how your storytelling has really progressed into more inspirational and emotional rather than just telling us what happened. So congratulations, Fawaz.